Rabbi Saadia Gaon lived about 1,000 years ago. He was a tremendously holy man, a genius in Torah, knew everything, all the secrets, everything that there was to know. And he had pupils. One day, a couple of his pupils, they lived in Iraq. And one day, his pupils were they went to a stroll. They went for a stroll early in the morning, and they were up in the mountains of Iraq. It was in winter time, and they heard some sort of a noise. They didn't know what it was. They looked over between these two rocks, and they saw there was Rabbi Saadia going, and he was rolling in the snow. Now, we don't do this nowadays, but there used to be, people used to do self-mortification. They would fast and they would do things like that. Nowadays, we don't do those things, but they used to be able to, they would roll in the snow and do things like that because how do you say, to take away any attention they had from their bodies and put more attention to their soul. Now, usually rolling in the snow and doing things like that, it was a penitent move. A person that did a sin, did something bad. So it was because his body led him to do bad things. So he would put on himself self-inflicted this. So they saw Reb Saadia going rolling in the snow. They figured, our master, this is him. There's no doubt about it. But he did something wrong. I wonder what he could have done. So they sort of kept it to themselves. A couple of days later, they confronted him. They say, Rabbi, listen, we were up in the mountains and we heard some noises and we saw that you were rolling in the snow. Usually that's only done for a person that's penitent, that did something wrong. Could it be that, you did something wrong? What could it be? So he said, well, I want to tell you the story. The story is that he said, a month ago, I accepted in myself exile. Accepted on myself exile. To go to an exile far away. Right? To go to an exile far away. Why to go on an exile far away? Because in order just I shouldn't get honor from my pupils. I should have a feeling of humility. I'm just a person like everybody else. He wanted to have that feeling of humility, that he didn't want to be, I'm a great man. So he said, Reb Saadia Gaon said, on my travels, I left my pupils. I intended to come back in a month or whatever. I left my pupils. And I went to an inn where a Jewish owner, and he treated me very nicely. And he, showed me a room, and he brought me water to wash my hands and everything. It's very nice. In the morning, I prayed early in the morning, and I left. And then I didn't know it, but my pupils were looking for me. They went looking for me, and they came to this hotel, and they asked the owner if I had been there. And the owner said, Rabbi Saadia Gaon, in my place, he would never come to a place like mine. He was a great man. He said, no, maybe you don't know. Have you ever seen him before? The owner said, no, I've never seen him, but I've heard about him. Everybody knows him. He wouldn't come to my little place. So he looks like this. He's this tall. He has hair like this. They gave him some distinguishing features that he had on his, a birthmark, whatever it was. They said, I don't believe it. He was just here. He was just here. He said, oh, yes, really? As soon as the owner of the inn heard that, he jumped on his horse and he raced in the direction where I had left. I had left like an hour, whatever, 2 hours earlier. And he came to me and he fell on his knees and he said, Rabbi, I'm so sorry. I didn't know who you are. I'm sorry. So I said, what do you mean? What are you sorry? I said to him, you treated me very nicely. And you treated me very well. He said, Rabbi, I treated you well, but if I would have known who you were, I would have treated you 100 times better. I said, oh, thank you very much. That's the whole reason that I went on this travel, to hear that, and that's why I was rolling around in the snow. I said, "True, God, it's true. I'm serving you and I'm loving you. But if I would know this morning, if I would know yesterday how great you are, what I know this morning, because every day you would think about God, and more, we would come to a deeper and deeper realization of what God is, like we just learned in Likkutei Torah about the tzaddikim, that they're like fish. They're higher and higher revelations, awareness of what God is. He said, I woke up this morning and I said, God, if I would have known yesterday who you were, like I know today, I would have served you 100 times better yesterday than I did today. And that's why I'm rolling around in the snow, because my service of God yesterday, because I didn't know really what God is. That's why I felt the regret, like the hotel owner felt for me, because he didn't know who I was. That's how I feel for God. Every day brand new. If I would have known what you are, like I know today, I would have served you in a totally different way. But we're not to the level of Rabbi Saadia Gaon, but nevertheless, we should feel every day thinking about what God is and realizing how close God is, how good God is, and come every day to a higher revelation of what the truth is. As the Lubavitcher Rebbe said, and as I've repeated a lot of times, a Jew must always be happy with what he has, but he should never be satisfied spiritually with what he has. You have to be always happy with what you have physically and spiritually, happy, but never satisfied. You always have to strive for more. Have a good day with Mashiach now. See you all, God willing, tomorrow.